we have sort of 45 varieties, all either new or established controls for people to look at, hold the pods, look at how they're doing, see how they're coping, and then they can sort of keep an eye out for those varieties appearing on the market in the future. Surprisingly happy with how the Vining Pea trial site has performed, given that it's been quite dry. We got that into some nice moisture in sort of mid to late March, and whilst it hasn't had much moisture, the vast majority of them are looking quite lush, good plots. Some of the earlier varieties have struggled more in their performance, just because they were making their decisions more about how much to flower, how many nodes to set, whilst it was still dry. We've subsequently had some sort of thunderstorms, which means that the medium to late varieties have had that extra burst of moisture to then let them set additional nodes. People are keen to see anything that they think could particularly slot into their growing group's future plans. There's a lot of interest in new material at sort of like the +4 to +8 sort of range. Something really strong in that period was a real sort of common theme for sort of what was being sort of discussed. But also there was quite a lively discussion between the people about what role very late varieties have in the system, and whether there is a bit of a hard limit in terms of how late maturity can be with the variety still being useful, of which there was several contrasting opinions and quite a good discussion. When talking everyone through the varieties, obviously they can see themselves the maturity difference, they can have a look at how tall they are, how many pods they've got on them, whether they're looking particularly vigorous this year in the context of it being a dry year, or whether they're looking like they're struggling a bit in the drier conditions. But one of the other things that's interesting to talk through is that I have access to any data from last year, and it's often one of the main opportunities to actually speak to people in the industry about the previous season's results as well. So data from the Vining Pea trials is available in two ways. There's always a yearly report. It's basically all the results from that season that's just available on our website. And then when something has been in our trials for 3 years, its data is all put together and put on the Vining Pea descriptive list. Also available on our website, but this is also published with an article explaining all the new varieties and highlights about them in the vegetable magazine.